Okay, given a data set, we want to determine if we have a function here. So in front of you there's a data set which is like an XY table, and before we start with this, let's just talk about function notation for a minute. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of this y here, so let's do that in a minute, and let's replace that with using our function notation. So in place of y, we're going to have f of x. So if I were to graph something, there's my x-axis, and you know this is y, but now we're going to call that f of x. So that's our function notation. So anyway, in place of y, I'm using f of x. So let's think about what we've got here for a table set, data set, and see if it's a function. Well, a function means if I put in some input, and that's what our x is the input, then I must get out an output that is unique to this input. So f of x is our output. So in other words, if I put 1 in, and it looks like I get out 2 in this particular case for whatever this function is, then every time I put 1 in, I have to get out 2. And it looks like I'm putting 3 in and I get out 4, and I put 7 and I get out 6, and I put 9 and I get out 8. So for all 4 of these inputs up here, I get a unique output. So in this case, yes, it's a function. So now let's change things a little bit and see if it's still a function. So let's change this. Alright, so here in this case I put in 1 and I get out 2, just like I did initially. And now, further on down the line, I'm putting 1 in, but now I get out a 6. And to do that means it's not a function. Because to be a function, you always get out the same output over and over and over when you put in the input. So in other words, this ordered pair must be unique. The ordered pair 1, 2 is different than 1, 6. So this is not a function. Alright, let's make another situation. So let's get rid of some of this other clutter here. Okay, and okay, let's start over. Alright, so we put in 1 and we get out 2. Oops, I got something over here. And I put in 3 and I get out 4. Well, what if I put in 5 and I get out 4? Is that a function? Can I do that? So this means if I put in 3, I get out 4. So that's the ordered pair 3, 4. Every time I put in a 3, I should get out a 4. Well, here's a new ordered pair, 5, 4. That's okay. That means when I put in 5, 5 is a unique input, then I get out 4. I can have the same outputs, just they have to be with different inputs. So yes, this is a function. Now, some of you are kind of shaking your heads at this. You may have had some further study in your high school career or in another math class about a function being invertible or an inverse, and we will get into that further along in the semester. So for right now, we are just determining what is a function, not an inverse, but just what is a function. And so you can have duplicate outputs and have it be a function.